2009, we made history with the election of President Barack Obama. He called us to service as there remains much work to do to end unemployment, poverty, and crime in our communities. There's so many books on how we can accomplish this. But this year, everyone's raving about this summer's hottest new book, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America by Chicago's own Emmanuel Barbee. A graduate of Northeastern Illinois University, Barbee addresses key ways we back our families and communities. But unlike so many other books on this topic, Barbee captivates his reader, presenting solutions through a riveting life story. It's entertaining, it's different, it's exciting. The perfect book club selection. Don't be left out. Get your copy of The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America. Order today at Amazon.com.
Welcome to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I am your host, Emmanuel Barbee. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos is an extension of the grassroots community activist movement. I use my podcast as a platform for ordinary law-abiding citizens on my friends list and people in my social groups who are emerging artists, allied health professionals, church leaders, and upcoming Black entrepreneurs to promote their products and services to my listeners from the podcast community. Tonight we're doing a special edition entitled Author's Circle. I'm using Facebook Live to interact with people on my friends list, as well as people from my social groups, as a way for us to have a networking opportunity. Author's Circle is about celebrating Black authors, Black bloggers, Black writers, and in America and throughout the African diaspora. In time, once I start my real Christian business, GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago, we will offer writing workshops for Black journalists and spoken word for Black poets. Save the date, Saturday, July 27th, 2019, I will be hosting Black Business Affair. The goal for this event is to encourage all Black entrepreneurs on my friends list and people that's in my social groups to participate in this free webinar. This webinar can help uplift our people out of poverty, fear, and self-doubt. The small thinker of the world only see negativity, which prevents them from moving forward in life. We think beyond the box. I am in the process of making my hybrid documentary, which is part fiction and non-fiction. To learn more about my film project, just click on my Medium page entitled My Truth, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe to my Mixcloud page and my YouTube channel and share this with your friends. After I finish with my pep talk, then I will open up the phone lines. Hopefully my author panel will be on standby. For those of you who don't know me, I am a professional blogger, an online talk show host, an upcoming social entrepreneur, a filmmaker in progress, and a new urban author of the book, quote, The Solution for Black America, Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, 2nd edition. This is an autobiography about my experience growing up in the inner cities of Chicago. In my book, I provide a 21st century plan on how my Christian organization will help eradicate urban violence in the city of Chicago, while at the same time meet the social needs of the community and families that want to utilize our programs and services. I wrote my book for 3 reasons. One is to raise awareness about the genocide which is taking place within our inner cities in America. Another reason why I wrote my story is to promote my virtual Christian socialist organization, GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. I created GRCAM back in November of 1991 on a site called Gopher because I was dissatisfied with all of the division taking place among our people. I wanted to start a new movement in Black America and throughout the African diaspora in order to connect with like-minded progressive African Americans, Afro-Brazilians, Afro-Canadians, Afro-Caribbeans, Afro-Europeans, African immigrants, and Native Africans throughout the African diaspora. We welcome all Christian denominations, moderate Muslims, secular people, and non-Black sympathizers. This is an authentic Black organization who are interested in solving Black issues once and for all in America. GRCAM will be two businesses, a nonprofit, cooperative, and a for-profit service-based business. It will have 5 components: a social service component, a spiritual component, a political component, an entertainment component, and an entrepreneur component. Our focus is on strengthening the Black family who reside in the inner cities, provide quality programs and services in order to rebuild Black Wall Street. Finally, I wrote my book in order to generate capital/seed money so that I can hire 30 Black middle-class professionals to assist me with the daily operation of my business. I want to make Chicago a model first before we expand to 10 other cities throughout the Midwest. I also plan on recruiting African immigrants in America to assist me in setting up chapters in 10 African nations. Our mission: to eradicate urban violence through our programs and services, to tackle poverty, institutionalized racism, and police brutality within the communities and cities we will serve if given a chance. The only thing which is preventing me from starting my virtual Christian socialist organization into a real business is the lack of manpower and capital. This is why I turn to social media to get my message out to the public through my YouTube videos, my social groups, my blog postings, my online talk show, my revised book, and now through my upcoming urban Christian film, Hood Liberator Made in Chicago. The war against Willie Lynch begins. This is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group in America. It's not my burden alone, but rather a shared burden. For I am just one Black man with a plan and a vision. It takes a team to make a dream work. GRCAM is a global community of thinkers and builders. I need your help to move GRCAM from behind a computer into our urban communities that need our talent and skills. I believe this act of human collaboration across an open platform is essential to the low-income African American community and our collective future. I don't ask for donations. Instead, I encourage people on my friends list and people in my social groups to support me by purchasing my revised book and read my story, The Solution for Black America, 2nd edition. It's available as an ebook for $9.99 and or as a softcover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. The Grassroots Community Activist Institute will be membership-based, and everyone will be screened and must attend our mandatory orientation and sign the community pledge, no exceptions. No hardened criminals, no active gang members, no urban terrorists, no pedophiles, and no house-steppers allowed in my organization. This is how I get down. This is my contribution back to my community, society, and throughout the African diaspora. With that said, the phone lines are now open. I'm looking. All right, my first caller is Miss Tasha Walker. Okay, you're on the air.
Waller. Good evening, everyone. My name is Tasha Waller, and I am an author of 4 books. The titles are The Unspoken Fetus, which is about, talking about fetus that with the increasement of abortions, how fetus are not able to have that choice to live. So I know it's a lot of controversy, but I wrote the book, The Unspoken Fetus, for that reason, to just pretty much talk about the recent increasements in the abortions and different laws that are being passed all around United States. Now, also, I have another book that The Unspoken Fetus is available on Amazon. And I also have another book that's called The Cardiologist. It's a spiritual book, and it's about how God performs a supernatural heart surgery, which I wrote that book because I have experienced a lot of different heartaches and pains and tragedies, and as I bandaged it up for so many years, I had to, the only way that I was able to overcome was to give my life to God and allow God to really work on my heart. So when I speak of the heart surgery, it's the supernatural one, which is performed by God. And then I also have another book that is called When the Stones Fell, I Picked Up a Rock. And that is my life story, about all the different experience I have experienced in life, from domestic violence to molestation, to being adopted into the foster care system, and being wrongfully convicted, and being a single parent. So that's what When the Stones Fell, I Picked Up a Rock, that's what it's about. It just pretty much tells about my life story, and that is available also on Amazon. I have that in Kindle format and also soft cover. Kindle format is $3.99, and the soft cover format is $6.99. And I also have one more book, Nine Branches to a Spiritual, and that's just teaching. It teaches others how to walk spiritually, fruitfully, and to how to produce the fruits and maintain the fruits and grow your fruits, which is like, patience and kindness and loving, things that beautifies your spirit, that we need in order to walk spiritually. And that's also available on Amazon for $6.99. And all you have to do is type in my name under Tasha, Tasha Waller, Waller, on Amazon, and all of the books are available on Amazon. They give you a brief description, and I look forward to feedback. And I'm hoping that you guys purchase, so that you guys can get a little understanding of who I am. It's a lot of, my books are very inspirational, motivational, and I believe it will benefit all that are listening. And I thank you so much for those that have listened tonight, and enjoy the rest of your evening as I get ready to turn the show back over to the host.
All right, great. That was, we really appreciate your information. I just want to go and ask you, do you have like a website if people want to, connect with you directly, if to know if you're going to create more books and stuff like that?
Yes, it's a little under construction right now, but it does have most of my books on there. www.kingdombookscollection.com gmail.com.
All right, great. Now tell people, if you don't mind, my listeners, how they can reach you on Facebook since you're on there, you know.
So the way to reach me on Facebook right now, you can go under www.sparkplugblogging.com, or you can just put sparkplugblogging.com, Facebook.
All righty then. Thank you for your input. Okay, my next caller is author, evangelist Amanda Matthews. You're live on the air.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to briefly tell you about two books. I'm the author of two books. The first book is called Inspired by the Father. Inspired by the Father is a book of devotionals and poetry. I know that it will encourage you, motivate you, and inspire you to have a closer walk with God. My second book is called In the Hands of the Father. This is a book of poetry, also inspirational poetry. I wrote these books for everybody of all walks of life, and the best thing about these books is that they're available on Amazon, and there will be a third book in this series soon to come. I want to turn the show back over to Emmanuel.
Oh, great. I do have a brief question for you. Now, what if you do have like a website that my listeners could, come to your page?
I am on Facebook, on Twitter. I also have blog pages on Blogger and WordPress.
Okay, well, thank you for your participation.
Well, he's saying on his program, he asked me to promote my books, and you will find them on Amazon.com under my name, DIANNEGARDINER. There are 4 books. The first one is Breaking the Curse of Condemnation. The second one is The Glory of Woman, Unmasking Her 5 Encounters, which happens to be the bestseller. And then we have How to Live Under an Open Heaven. That is also a bestseller. And most recently, the Money Matters book, 7 Principles or 7 Keys to Financial Wisdom. And that's also becoming a bestseller. So those are the books that I wrote, and they're available at Amazon.com. Now, the Glory of Woman book is geared towards women, but I have had so many reviews from men who've read it, and they tell me that they've been given a greater understanding of not just the purpose, but the power, the potential, the encounters that the woman had that literally changed the course of humanity. So I do suggest, if you want something that will transform your mind, transform your life as a female and as a man, please do invest in getting that book. And the book about how to live under an open heaven, it gives us principles on how to have heaven open towards us at all times, because Jesus lived under an open heaven and we are to be like him. So those are just some of the highlights of 2 of the books. If you really want to, like I said, invest in your personal development, invest in your spiritual growth, invest in another person's personal development, spiritual growth, please feel free to visit Amazon.com and purchase the books. And that, Emmanuel, is what I had to say.
Before you go, Apostle Diane Gardner, can you please just tell my listeners what inspired you to write your books?
Well, the first one, Breaking the Curse of Condemnation, condemnation comes if you're not, the enemy taunts the enemy. Yeah, your mind, he bombards the new believer, and even believers who who sinned, believers who fell, taunts the mind with the lie that even after they've genuinely repented, that they're not forgiven, condemnation. And then we have people church folk, who, not all, but some, who seem to remember what God has forgotten. They don't allow you to go beyond what you repented for. They don't allow you to leave your past. There's always somebody who remember when. So the Lord inspired me to write that particular book, Breaking the Curse of Condemnation. Because according to John chapter 8, when the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the teachers of the law saw the people and how they responded to Jesus, they made a statement. They said, these people are under a curse. And that's where the book sprang from. The book, The Glory of Woman, the Lord divinely, it was 15 minutes where I sat, where he downloaded what I wrote in that book. I remember where I was in Connecticut, and I had an encounter like Ezekiel did at the river Shabar with the Lord, and he downloaded that book in regards to women. It is a groundbreaking, it is liberating, it is cutting edge, and I'm not saying it because I wrote it, I'm saying it because these are some of the reviews that I've been getting, and there were many, so that's why I wrote that one. And the How to Live Under an Open Heaven, that came about also where the Lord downloaded certain principles and revelation about how heaven can be open over our lives, how we can get heaven open. Praises does not open heaven because lack of praises did not shut heaven up. So it outlines, it gives us principles, revelation on how to live under an open heaven like Jesus did. And the financial book came about 3 years ago. I was sending out every Sunday. I would send out certain principles, financial principles. I did it for I think 20 weeks or 21 weeks, and the Lord inspired me last year the ending part of last year, the beginning of this year, to compile everything that I sent out in those 21 weeks, and put more, import more into it, and write the book. So that's how that came about.
All right. Well, thank you for your participation in this event, and have a nice and safe weekend.
Thank you, Emmanuel, and I just want to encourage you to continue doing what you're doing. It may seem as if you're not getting anywhere, but just keep at it. Just keep at it. Rome wasn't built in a day, they said, and the scriptures tells us don't despise the day of small beginnings. So keep at it as long as you're doing what the Lord has instructed you to do. Then you have more with you than there be with others. So I just want to encourage you to continue to move forward and let the Lord have his way with you, okay?
Okay, before you go, I just want to say, just be in agreement with me that God would connect me with angel investors and sponsors so that way I can launch my film. Because that's really going to help me get my message out to the masses, as well as for me to generate capital so that way I can start my Christian business here in Chicago.
Okay. One thing I've come to learn, that the scripture says that we are co-laborers together with him. He called us to do what he prepared in advance for us to do. So when he calls us, we're being called into a prepared work. It does not mean that you won't have struggles. It doesn't mean you won't have times where it seems as if nothing is happening for you, and that's okay. But it is a prepared work when you come to, when you answer the call to do what God has instructed you to do. It is a prepared work. Now, you did not prepare the work, God did. And then he created you for the prepared work that he called you to do. So in the process, in all of the trials, in all of the struggles, the seemingly setbacks, in all of the seemingly disappointments, and all of these things, he is preparing you for the prepared work. I have come to learn that whatever God calls for, he provides for. He does not leave it to us to fund what he has called us to do. Now, let me clarify that. It does not mean you sit and you twiddle your thumbs. No. God gives you strategies. He gives you ideas to bring about the prepared work. And God always has. He has finished this thing. So you're literally coming into a finished work. You're beginning what he has already finished. He finished it and put you at the beginning. So all you have to do is follow his plans, do his will, obey him explicitly. And God has people all over this world. The earth is the Lord, the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell therein. He owns a cattle on 1,000 hills. The gold and the silver is his. While he's preparing you and you are preparing yourself, you are planning, you've written the vision, and you're building according to what God has shown you. In the appointed time that God has for you, you will receive.
Amen.